95.7 The Hog. There's Sammy Hagar and I Can't Drive 55. I'm Maze. And speaking of driving, if you're looking to do a road trip this summer, well, first off, I hope gas prices stop going up so you don't have to take out a second mortgage to afford it. And second of all, have fun. So the website Wallet Hub just ranked all 50 states from the best place to take a road trip this summer to the worst. And those rankings are based on 31 factors, which include quality of the roads, traffic, driving laws, national parks, activities and attractions, weather, shoreline scenery, and, of course, the gas prices. So the 10 best states for taking a road trip: Wyoming, North Carolina, Minnesota, Texas, Florida, Louisiana, Washington, New York, Utah, and Colorado. Yeah, Florida. And the worst places: Rhode Island, Connecticut, Delaware, Hawaii, New Mexico, Indiana, Kentucky, Alaska, Kansas, and Alabama. I think it's pretty funny that Hawaii and Alaska actually are on that list, though. Yeah. We got more for you next. Def Leppard and Neil Young right here on 95.7 The Hog. 95.7 The Hog. There's Aerosmith. Janie's Got a Gun. I'm Maze. And this right here is one hell of a car theft chain reaction. Pay attention, because you might get confused. So a woman in Delta Township, Michigan, had her Lexus stolen last week. She got herself a car rental as the police investigated. So the next day, she's driving around in her little rental car all around town, and she saw her Lexus parked at a convenience store. So she pulled into the parking lot, hopped into her car, and stole it back. Good for you, lady. So it turns out the person who stole her car was an 18-year-old dude named Jay Porter. So he got out of the convenience store, realized that the woman was stealing back her stolen Lexus. So his reaction? He stole her rental car. Cops finally tracked him down in a stolen rental about 85 miles away. He was charged with unlawfully driving away a motor vehicle and carjacking. The woman will not be facing any charges for stealing back her Lexus, obviously. We'll keep it rocking next. The Eagles and AC/DC right here on 95.7 The Hog. 95.7 The Hog. There's the Black Crowes and Hard to Handle. I'm Naze, and that's going to do it for me. I'm going to get myself on out of here. Make sure you're tuning in to the Morning Hog with Riggs and Guy tomorrow morning. Of course, they've got your Win 'em Before You Can Buy 'em tickets to see Alice in Chains on October 26th. And, of course, they'll be playing NASCAR Math. You got a chance to win Coca-Cola Firecracker 250 tickets, plus get qualified to go to the Coke Zero Sugar 400. So make sure you're tuning in. All sorts of fun prizes for you tomorrow night, and we'll keep it rocking for you next with Pearl Jam and Led Zeppelin right here on 95.7 The Hog. 95.7 The Hog. There's Joan Jett with I Hate Myself for Loving You. I'm Maze. And if you're a single guy in the Oklahoma City area and you like the idea of having sex in public, I've got the woman for you. So the cops in Oklahoma City got a call on Friday around 5:30 p.m. about two people having sex under a tree right by a busy intersection. So when the cops get there, they found 48-year-old Tony Willis and 42-year-old Verna LeClaire drunk and doing it in full view of all the traffic. So they both got arrested for indecent exposure and public intoxication. But it turns out this is not Verna's first time getting arrested for this move. Last October, she was arrested for having sex in the late afternoon in a liquor store parking lot with a 21-year-old guy named Kevin Bohannon. Those charges were dismissed. Too early to say whether she'll dodge them again this time. Probably not. We'll keep it rocking next. Ozzy and Pink Floyd on the way right here on 95.7 The Hog. 95.7 The Hog. That's the Doors and Love Her Madly. I'm Maze, and The Hog has your hookup to Win 'em Before You Can Buy 'em tickets to see Alice in Chains all this week on the mornings with Riggs and Guy and in the afternoons with Chaos. Alice in Chains will be playing the St. Augustine Amphitheater October 26th, and tickets don't go on sale until Friday morning at 10 a.m., so you have a couple more chances to win them this week. Now, if you don't manage to win tickets, that's okay. Save on fees by purchasing tickets at St. Augustine Amphitheater box office, and you get the first pick when tickets go on sale Friday morning at 10 a.m. Tickets will also be available at Ticketmaster.com or by phone at 1-800-745-3000. And we're going to keep it rocking for you next. Lynyrd Skynyrd and Guns N' Roses on the way right here on 95.7 The Hog. 95.7 The Hog, there's Bush. Everything's zen. I'm Maze. And guys, let's be honest for a second. When I order pizza, it's definitely because I'm feeling too lazy to cook, or possibly because I'm feeling way too lazy to even leave the house. So this company in Canada called Boston Pizza, yeah, that's pretty funny. They just invented a new pizza box, and it turns into a table. So all you got to do is fold the flaps out at the bottom, and you got this little table for, eating in bed or basically wherever. So we don't know whether American pizza places are going to start using these boxes, but I'd say they'd be stupid not to. And we're going to keep it rocking next. Tom Petty and a band with the most epic beards in history on the way right here on 95.7 The Hog. 95.7 The Hog, that's Foreigner, long, long way from home. I'm Naze. And are you looking for tickets to the Coca-Cola Firecracker 250? Are you brushed up on all your NASCAR drivers and their sponsors? Well, you should be, because Morning Hog, Riggs and Guy, they'll be playing NASCAR math all this week for a chance for you to win some tickets to the Coca-Cola Firecracker 250. So they'll give you a driver and their sponsor, plus or minus another driver and their sponsor. All you got to do is identify which driver they're talking about, and you win tickets to the Coca-Cola Firecracker 250 and get yourself qualified to win a pair of tickets to the Coke Zero Sugar 400, plus a Hot Laps experience, and 2 tickets to the UNOH Fan Zone. Now, don't worry if you don't win. You can always buy your tickets, DaytonaInternationalSpeedway.com or at 1-800-PIT-SHOP. And we'll keep it rocking for you on the way. Van Halen and one of my favorite rockers of all time, Dee Snider, right here on 95.7 The Hog. 95.7 The Hog, there's Black Sabbath with Iron Man. I'm Maze. And make sure you're tuning in Saturday night from 9 until midnight for Saturday Night Loud with Riggs. I got to tell you, he is super excited about this week's show. He has an entire segment dedicated to his favorite band. I think it's his favorite band. His pants say it's his favorite band. Anyway, Bullet for my Valentine. He's got interviews. He's got music. All sorts of stuff coming up for you. Of course, he's got Mandatory Maiden, Under the Covers, plus so much more. Make sure you're tuning in Saturday night, 9 until midnight. If there's something you want to hear, hit him up on Twitter at Saturday Loud or on our Facebook page and Instagram, 95.7 The Hog. And we'll keep it rocking next with Rush and everyone's favorite Aussies right here on 95.7 The Hog. 95.7 The Hog, there's Heart and Barracuda. I'm Maze. And maybe this dude should have asked for an exact address instead of trying to be Spider-Man. Yeah, so 25-year-old Daniel Blair headed to a party in Racine, Wisconsin on Saturday night. And he'd never been to the dude's apartment before, so he was told by his friend to just follow the music. So he heard the music, but couldn't get inside the apartment complex. His idea? Climb up the side of the building. Yeah, so he scaled a balcony, ended up on a different balcony than the one the music was coming from, and was discovered by a 12-year-old girl. Now, it's not exactly clear what happened, but dude fell off the balcony, and the 12-year-old girl called the cops, probably because she thought he was trying to break in. So good on her. Anyway, when the cops came over, he was still wandering around, trying to find the party. So he got arrested, and he's facing charges for disorderly conduct. So guys, not okay to be Spider-Man. Don't be climbing onto people's balconies who you don't know. Not great. Anyway, more rock next. A band I'll be seeing in Tampa Bay in September, plus some Motley Crue right here on 95.7 The Hog. 95.7 The Hog. There's Tuesdays Gone from Lynyrd Skynyrd. Those guys will be coming around in September 2nd. They'll be playing up in Jacksonville with Kid Rock. Make sure you get your tickets. What's up? I'm Maze. Thanks for rocking with me tonight. We will be playing one more round of NASCAR math on the Morning Hog with Riggs and Guy on Monday morning, so make sure you're tuning in. So they'll give you a driver and their sponsor, plus another driver and their sponsor. You got to figure out which driver they're talking about. If you can do that, you will get yourself tickets to the Coca-Cola Firecracker 250, as well as get yourself qualified for a pair of Coke Zero Sugar 400 tickets and a Hot Laps experience and 2 UNOH Fan Zone wristbands. So make sure you're tuning in Monday morning from 6 to 10. And for more information, visit 957thehog.com. And to buy your tickets to the races, make sure you go to DaytonaInternationalSpeedway.com or call 1-800-PIT-SHOP. And we'll keep it rocking for you next. Got something from John Mellencamp and the boys from Green Day on the way right here on 95.7 The Hog. 95.7 The Hog, that's AC/DC with Hell's Bells. I'm Naze, and apparently it's not actually that important to be good at your job. You just need to really make everybody else think that you are. A new study found that faking it till you make it does actually work. Researchers talked to 2,000 people who are successful in their careers. 66% of them say at some point they really did need to fake it till they made it. But that didn't mean lying on a resume, nothing like that. Main thing they did was project confidence, even when they weren't really sure what they're doing. So the key word here is confidence. They also said that dressing professionally helped them along in their careers. So there's a couple of good tips for all of you people out there who don't know if you're doing things right. Trust me, you are. We'll keep it rocking next with one of the most famous Florida musicians, plus Styx, right here on 95.7 The Hog. 95.7 The Hog, that's Pink Floyd with Money. I'm Maze, and there's all sorts of fun happening in New Smyrna Beach this weekend. Tomorrow, starting at 9 a.m., is the Sand Art Festival. Prizes will be awarded for Best Child, Child Group, Young Adult, Adult, and Family categories. This season's theme, Happy 250th New Smyrna Beach. So make sure you have a plan of attack when you head on out there tomorrow. And then on Sunday is the New Smyrna Beach Sunday Beach 5K Run Walk. It's happening at the Flagler Avenue Beach Approach. And, joggers, walkers, runners, you are all welcome. Registration starts at 7, races at 8, and there's going to be t-shirts and finisher medals to participants. So make sure you're heading on out to New Smyrna Beach for a fun weekend of events. And we'll keep it rocking for you next. Nazareth. And we got some Loverboy on the way right here on 95.7 The Hog. 95.7 The Hog. I'm Maze, and that's BTO with Taking Care of Business, which is what I'm sure one Florida man thought he was doing when he decided to pick the lock of the house he used to live in with a pocket knife and then threaten the new occupant because he was super irate that he wasn't allowed to live there anymore. So this dude, Alex Sardinez, after threatening the new occupant, grabs a pulled pork sandwich and a drink out of the fridge and then left the house. So he later called police to say that he needed to get back into his old home to grab some clothes. Cops race over to the neighborhood and they just find him walking away from the house. He got arrested for burglary and theft. Man, he owes that guy a sandwich. That's not cool. We'll keep it rocking for you next. Candlebox and one of the best tunes off the album 1984 right here on 95.7 The Hog. 95.7 The Hog. There's Metallica. Nothing else matters. I'm Maze. And this is definitely something you don't see on a daily basis. There's a 66-year-old Florida woman from Panama City Beach named Priscilla Ann Etheridge. Saturday night, she got into a fight with her kid. He's 46-year-old. She thought he stole her cell phone. So he left the house on his bike, as grown men do. And she clearly was not done with him. She gets into her car, rides up on him, and fires a gun, because that's motherly instinct right there. She missed, fortunately. Still got arrested. Aggravated assault with firearm. Cops eventually did find her phone, though. It was at her house the entire time. Awesome. Good parenting. Coming up next, we'll all be feeling the pressure. And we got something from Green Day right here on 95.7 The Hog. 95.7 The Hog. There's the Charlie Daniels Band and The Devil Went Down to Georgia. I'm Maze, and we have Win 'Em Before You Can Buy 'Em tickets to see Alice in Chains. That's right. They're going to be playing the St. August Amphitheater Friday, October 26th, and we have your tickets. Now, they don't go on sale until Friday, but you can win them right here on the Morning Hog tomorrow morning with Riggs and Guy, and again in the afternoons with Chaos. So if you want to go see Alice in Chains, make sure to listen up all this week for your chance to win them before you can buy them. And we'll keep it rocking for you next with Foreigner and Pink Floyd right here on 95.7 The Hog. 95.7 The Hog. There's the police, and don't stand so close. I'm Maze, and make sure you're tuning in to the Morning Hog with Riggs and Guy tomorrow for some NASCAR math around 7:30 a.m. Riggs and Guy will give you a NASCAR driver and their sponsor, plus or minus another driver and their sponsor, and the first person to call in and correctly identify the driver will win themselves a pair of tickets to the Coca-Cola Firecracker 250 plus. You qualify for the grand prize, which is a pair of tickets to the Coke Zero Sugar 400 and a Hot Laps experience and 2 wristbands to the UNOH Fan Zone. So make sure you're tuning in tomorrow at 7:30. For more information, check out 957thehog.com. And to get your tickets to the Coke Zero Sugar 400 and the Firecracker 250, go to DaytonaInternationalSpeedway.com or call 1-800-PIT-SHOP. And we'll keep it rocking for you next with the Red Hot Chili Peppers and Led Zeppelin right here on 95.7 The Hog. 95.7 The Hog, that's Ram Jam and Black Betty. I'm Maze. And do you know what pairs well with happiness? Fish. Yeah, according to a new study out of Spain, people are happier when they drink white wine, and they're more likely to feel aggressive or guilty when they're drinking red wine. The researchers found that women seem to realize the difference, so they gravitate toward white wine so they could feel happier. Men either don't realize that or don't care because they keep going for the reds. Yeah. Pretty funny, right? Anyway, we got more for you next. Tom Petty and 9 o'clock haircuts just around the corner on 95.7 The Hog. 95.7 The Hog, it's Maze, and you are right in the middle of your 9 o'clock haircuts. First up, off the 1982 album Dawn Patrol is Night Ranger with Don't Tell Me You Love Me. Now, possibly the most powerful power ballad of all time. Here's the Scorpions from their 1990 album Crazy World with Wind of Change. 95.7 The Hog, that's Cheap Trick and Surrender. I'm Maze, and it's almost impossible to avoid being hacked. So if someone wants to do it, they're going to do it. But the idea is to make it a little bit harder for them so they go over to the next guy who is not doing this stuff. So someone talked to an actual hacker about things people do that put them at risk online. And there are 4 big ones. So not changing your passwords regularly. You've probably heard it often, but do it. If you've been using the same password for 5 years, maybe change it. Posting a photo of your house key. Some people do it to celebrate a new place. Don't do that. Believe it or not, people can actually make a copy of your key based on that photo and rob your place. Next, your teenager posting a photo of their new driver's license. It happens way too often. Hackers can use that to get their identity or get to you since you're the one with the money. And number 4, not looking at what's in the background of your photos before posting them. Like if you take a selfie at work, not realize you got passwords taped up behind you. Also be careful about things like paychecks or what's actually on your computer screen. Yeah, that can get you into some trouble too. We got more for you next. Ozzy Osbourne and Alice Cooper on the way on 95.7 The Hog. 95.7 The Hog, I'm Maze, and that's Boston with More Than a Feeling. I don't even want to know what this guy was thinking. One Florida man was arrested for screaming at neighbors and threatening to kill them, all because his testicles hurt. So police received a call about a 32-year-old man, quote, on drugs and threatening to kill the neighbors with a gun. So officers found this dude soaked and sweaty and clearly panicked. He told them that his testicles were hurting and he believed that he had parasites from swimming in a nearby creek. He was screaming and threatening to kill the neighbors because no one would let him use their phone. He apparently smashed up his own cell phone in a fit of rage. Cops say he was apologetic, but they still arrested him. All I got to say is that guy is nuts. We'll keep it rocking next. John Mellencamp and Talking Heads right here on 95.7 The Hog. 95.7 The Hog, there's Night Ranger with Sister Christian. I'm Maze. That's going to do it for me. I'm going to get myself on out of here. Make sure to tune in to the Morning Hog with Riggs and Guy tomorrow morning. Of course, they've got at 7:30 NASCAR Math. You can win tickets to the Coca-Cola Firecracker 250 plus qualify for those Coke Zero Sugar 400 tickets. And Brain Bash at 8:30 plus Spot the Lie. And of course, you have a chance to win tickets to see Alice in Chains. Win them before you can buy them. You don't want to miss that. Make sure you're tuning in tomorrow morning from 6 to 10. And we'll keep it rocking for you next with The Clash and Bush right here on 95.7 The Hog. 95.7 The Hog, that's Derek and the Dominoes with Layla. I'm Maze. And cherish these days. I know the kids have off from school, but apparently you don't get that long to actually, enjoy the time with your kid because 13 days after they're done, you're going to go crazy. Yeah, that's right. Apparently, parents feel a lot of pressure to keep their kids entertained during the summer. 58% feel like they have to figure out a bunch of activities for the summer, and 64% end up feeling like they let their kid down because they don't have enough stuff to do. Things to parents do mostly to keep their kids occupied: amusement parks, movies, zoos, bowling, and camping. In between, kids are mostly just staring at screens, though, let's be honest. Apparently, they spend 9 entire days of summer playing video games. Now you know. And we're going to keep it rocking with a couple of British bands coming up, plus the boys from Australia, right here on 95.7 The Hog. 95.7 The Hog, there's John Mellencamp with the Authority song. I'm Maze, and all you local bands out there, make sure to send your best tunes to locallicks@DaytonaRadio.com and listen up on Friday nights with Chaos around 6:45 p.m. He will spotlight a local lick from a homegrown artist every single week. So all you got to do, send your music in, get your band played. It is that easy. Local Licks is brought to you by the Streamline Hotel, Olivier's Hideaway, and the Sky Lounge, the birthplace of Stock Carnation. Check them out. They literally have the best view in Daytona. They're at 140 South Atlantic Avenue. And tomorrow night is Friday happy hour, which means you get half-price well drinks and half-price domestic drafts from 11 till 7. But you mentioned 95.7 The Hog, Chaos, or Local Licks, and that gets extended to 8. So make sure you get on out there tomorrow night. And we'll keep it rocking next with Billy Squire, and a couple of girls will go crazy on you right here on 95.7 The Hog. 95.7 The Hog, that's Led Zeppelin and All of My Love. I'm Maze, and you know what I love? I love hard rock and heavy metal. And if you're like me, make sure to tune into Saturday Night Loud with Riggs from 9 until midnight this Saturday. His whole last segment, he's got a feature interview with Matt Tuck of Bullet for My Valentine because their new LP of Gravity coming out Friday, the 29th, so make sure you're tuning in. Of course, he's got Mandatory Maiden on there, plus Under the Covers, so much more. If there is something that you want to hear on his show, make sure to hit him up on Twitter at Saturday Loud or on Facebook or Instagram, 95.7 The Hog, and we'll keep it rocking. Aerosmith is up next, and Leonard Skinner right here on 95.7 The Hog. 95.7 The Hog, that's Van Halen and Panama. I'm Maze, and it's probably never easy to be a designated driver. You got to deal with the puking, the fighting, you know, all the ruckus that goes on with the people you're driving around. Anyway, a group of friends near Minneapolis went out drinking on Saturday. They got home around 3 a.m. Don't know the driver's name, but they were in his Hummer. One of the people he was dropping off was a 29-year-old chick named Pania Vang. When they got to her place, she did not actually get out of the car. She asked the dude to marry her. After he declined, she jumped into the driver's seat and stole his car. So another designated driver ended up following her for about 3 miles. She stopped. At that point, he started yelling at her to get out. He grabbed on the roof racks, to prevent her from leaving. She sped off, took off at like 80 miles an hour, and dude held on for a while, but eventually he fell off, ended up busting some bones, went to the hospital. And Pania got arrested the next day when she showed up to visit him. And now she's facing several charges, including theft of a motor vehicle. Ooh, come on, guys. You got to think your drunk decisions through. Anyway, we'll keep it rocking next. We got something from Mick and a little something from Billy on the way, right here on 95.7 The Hog. 95.7 The Hog. That's Ted Nugent with Stranglehold. I'm Naze, and make sure you're tuning into the Morning Hog with Riggs and Guy tomorrow morning for some NASCAR math. So they'll give you a driver and their sponsor, plus or minus another driver and their sponsor. If you can figure out which driver they're talking about, you will get yourself tickets to the Coca-Cola Firecracker 250, and you get qualified for a pair of tickets to the Coke Zero Sugar 400, plus a Hot Laps experience and 2 wristbands to the UNOH Fan Zone. So make sure you're tuning in tomorrow morning. For more information, check out 957thehog.com. And for tickets to both the Coca-Cola Firecracker 250 and the Coke Zero Sugar 400, check out DaytonaInternationalSpeedway.com or call 1-800-PIT-SHOP. And we'll keep it rocking for you next with Van Halen and Rush right here on 95.7 The Hog. 95.7 The Hog, that's Guns N' Roses, Mr. Brownstone. I'm Maze. And the next big feature for iPhone is coming out later this year. Might actually help save some lives, too. I'll tell you about it a little bit later. Right now, here's Ozzy Osbourne, Over the Mountain. 95.7 The Hog, there's Aerosmith back in the saddle. I'm Maze, and make sure you're tuning into Afternoon Chaos tomorrow. He, of course, has your next chance to win him before you can buy him. Tickets for Alice in Chains and Mandatory Marley every day at 4:20 p.m. Also tune in for the Mandatory Munchie Song of the Day. When you hear it, be caller number 5. Win yourself some gift cards to Mellow Mushroom. And, of course, it's Wednesday. Psychic Susanna will be in. She'll be taking your calls for free and telling you all about your future. She's actually pretty spot on. So make sure you're giving her a listen. And we'll keep it rocking for you next. Leonard Skinner and U2 on the way right here on 95.7 The Hog.